So we're out here after a stormy night in Sevierville, and while an apple a day usually keeps the doctor away, an apple a day never keeps the tourists away, not at this place. What do we think of it? Well, we're gonna let you know, because this is the Applewood Farmhouse Grill.
Come along with us at the Applewood Farmhouse Grill. You're going to feel immediately at home on the farm here. Take a relaxing break in the rockers before you head inside to have a meal.
Here at the grill, but ladies first.
There are several large dining areas in the Applewood Farmhouse Grill, as well as these beautiful bird terrariums where you can enjoy the birdies. And you'll feel immediately at home in the traditional farmhouse style of these large rooms. Plenty of seating areas for plenty of people. So Applewood Farmhouse Grill.
Applewood Farmhouse Grill, the Farmhouse Restaurant is on the other side. Very similar menus, but we're here at the grill today.
All right, I'm excited to give it a shot.
Yes, ma'am. So at Applewood, the thing that they're going to start you out with, of course, are the apple fritters, powdered sugar with their homemade apple butter. And then you're going to start off, this is not apple cider, this is apple julep, which is the mix of apple, pineapple, orange, and she told me there was one other thing. But it's julep, so it's not traditional apple cider. So, should I try this?
I think you should.
Okay. It is actually very refreshing. It is. I think the bad part for me here is that I taste more pineapple than I do apple.
Okay.
The pineapple's a little overpowering, but overall though, that's a good fruit juice. Love, you have the julep?
I do.
I want to get your opinion of that, because
it's really good. It's really refreshing. Not too sweet, but I'm with you that it shouldn't maybe be called apple because it's probably more pineapple. But it's good. All right, fritters. Everybody loves Apple Barn fritters. They are famous.
There you go. Look at that.
Kind of like an apple hush puppy. Grab some of this apple butter.
You could call it an apple hush puppy because nobody will be talking when they're eating those.
And it is really good.
It is really good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm actually going to say they're better than the other place we get them.
Better than Carver's?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be the judge of that, but I'm with you. So you think so? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So what makes these stand out from your typical apple fritter is they've got orange rind and apple shreds in the fritter. That's pretty cool. So all of the meals come with your choice of soup. I'm getting the creamy potato, and Brooks, of course, is getting the vegetable. And both of them look really good.
Vegetable soup. I feel like we've just recently been here. Now this is going to be different than Cumberland Jack's, I can already tell you that. Although there are a good mix of veggies in here.
You know, veggie soup is kind of one of those down-home favorites that many restaurants around here serve, so. And there are lots of places to get a good one.
Yes, there are. This is more of it is a very good vegetable soup. The thing that I differentiate this from the last vegetable soup that I had is this has more of a mountain feel to it, more of a traditional taste to it, have more of a veggie feel than kind of an upscale vegetable soup, if you will.
So simplistic?
Yes, but Sometimes the simple things
is better, I know.
are better.
The older I get, sometimes the simpler I want things.
Corn, green beans, carrots, peas, celery. There's definitely more celery and potato in this than there was in the last vegetable soup that I had. And so it is a more hearty vegetable soup, but very good. Well, you have it's loaded baked potato soup, but it is creamy.
Yes. Looks pretty smooth. You see small chunks of potatoes in there. I see little pieces of bacon and onion, possibly chives. Yeah, probably.
Kind of looks like it.
Okay. The flavor is good.
Yes.
But for me, it is a bit salty.
A bit salty?
So that's kind of my take on it. I just prefer less salt, but the flavor is good. So if they backed off on the salt just a little bit, I think it would be perfect.
Okay. And now, a Smoky Mountain Faith Food and Fun history lesson. So today's history lesson kind of goes full circle, but there's a little controversy with it too. So the Stokely family, who started a canning industry out in Del Rio, the Newport area in Tennessee, back in the 1800s, 1700s even. It goes very far back. They eventually partnered with A.J. Bush. So if you've seen our Bush Beans video, you know about that. They partnered with A.J. Bush and family, and eventually A.J. bought out their part, and that became Bush's Beans and Company, or Bush Brothers. The Stokely family went on to build the Van Camp brand and went to Indiana, but they also have a hospitality side called Stokely Hospitality Enterprises. That's going to be important later on. In 1972, the Hicks and the Kilpatrick family bought this 65-acre parcel of land, which was a cattle and tobacco farm at the time. In 1978, they decided to plant apples here and make it an orchard, and thus the apple barn. So the old farmhouse. So we're in the farmhouse grill right now. The farmhouse grill was built here in 1995 because of the popularity of the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant, which is just on down the path. That was actually the old farmhouse, and in 1986, the family here called on Stokely Hospitality Enterprises to help them transform the old farmhouse into the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant that you have today. Here's where the controversy comes in, because Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant, the actual restaurant, claims to be the oldest restaurant in Sevierville. But if you saw our Reds video, you know that's not the case, because the old Reds Cafe was in downtown Sevierville in 1946, which dates 40 years prior to the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant. Now, I've been alive since 1981, and there were definitely restaurants in Sevierville before 1986. So there's a little confusion about that. We did talk to management, and we haven't really gotten a good answer as to, now the farmhouse itself is over 100 years old, but it was never a restaurant until 1986. So it's kind of a false claim. If anybody out there knows anything about the history of the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant that maybe we're not privy to, let us know in the comments, because otherwise that's a little bit of false advertising on them.
Yeah, we've not been able to find anything, and we have searched.
Yes.
So that is your history lesson on
for today.
Applewood Farmhouse and Grill.
Christy has the original farmhouse sampler trio, which has the fried chicken, there's chicken pot pie, and then of course their chicken and dumplings. For sides, mashed potatoes and fried okra.
So of course, Applewood is famous for fried chicken and home cooking. I couldn't decide, so I got the trio, the fried chicken, pot pie, and dumplings. So I'm gonna try this pot pie first.
Yes.
Comes in a little like a ramekin. The crust looks like it's flaky. Chicken is nice and shredded. There's good veggies in there. It's hot. Very hot.
Very hot, she says.
I'm gonna try that again, because I kind of swallowed quickly. because it was hot.
It says breakfast served daily.
It is very hot, I can tell.
Okay.
You can come back for breakfast in the morning if you want to.
Thank you.
It's kind of bland, actually. It needs salt, so I guess I would rather have to add salt than take it away.
Yeah.
Everything in it is fresh. To me, too much carrot, but that's a personal thing.
How's the puff pastry?
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
But I feel like it needs more chicken flavor. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna,
Does it have more of a vegetable flavor than it does chicken?
for me, it does.
Okay. Okay.
Which is the kind of the, to be honest, the turn off. But let's go with the chicken, and they gave me a little thigh here. I think that's a thigh.
That looks like it. Oh.
Try the, it's crunchy and crispy.
Crunchy, crispy, and it looks juicy. It does look juicy.
That's good. All right. Fried chicken is good.
Would you twirl the thigh for that?
I'll twirl a wing.
Twirl the wing.
Fried chicken is excellent. Okay, definitely. All right, so chicken and dumplings. Now these are your Southern style dumplings, the rolled dumplings. I am a drop dumpling girl.
I am too.
That's how I was raised, but I will obviously eat the rolled dumplings because that's the way the South for the most part. Although you're
I'm a drop dumpling guy.
All right. It's got good shredded chicken in there. You can tell that's fresh. Those are good.
Those are good?
They are good.
Okay, good deal.
They're not fork twirl good, but they're good.
Okay.
They pass. They're definitely good. Probably could back off on the salt a tiny little bit there.
Okay.
Okra. All right, that's good okra.
Good okra?
Nice cornmeal batter. Breading.
Yep.
The okra is good inside and it tastes like okra. Sometimes your breading can overpower the taste of the okra. That does not. That's really good. All right, so the mashed potatoes are definitely homemade and real,
Yes.
which I would expect that here. There's got pepper in there.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Fatten you up a little bit there.
Buttery, just nice. Very good.
Good deal?
I twirled the pork for the mashed potatoes and I twirled the chicken for the chicken.
Okay. Okay. I have the Applewood grilled pork chop, and that is apple relish on top. And then I've got the mashed potatoes as well, but now I've also got the collard greens and grilled corn on the cob. Grilled corn on the cob is a new thing for them, so I want to give it a shot.
All right, so you got a pork chop that's been marinated with apple cider, right?
Apple cider, and then there's apple relish on the top. So it looks like
Onion and apple.
there's an apple, and it's red onion, purple onion, whatever you want to call it. I want to try just the relish to begin with.
BLT sounds good. Yeah, BLT's good. That's actually, you'd be able to say that.
What, the BLT? Really, is that big?
I'm gonna have to try it with the pork in a minute. So let's try the mashed potatoes first. I will say those are great mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I agree.
I would twirl the fork for the mashed
Yeah,
potatoes.
they're really good.
They're really, really good. I'm gonna move over though. So they gave me with the collard greens, and I love that they have both.
It's an apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar, so I gotta put a little bit of that on there. They also give you the Texas Pete pepper sauce, which I think will give it a nice kick.
That's a big sandwich.
And I love that they give you the option to have one or both or none. And so let's see These are seasoned with country ham,
Yep.
and that's a good broth.
Yeah, they look real good.
They smell good, and they're very fresh. They are fresh greens. That's a good collard green. That is a good collard green. It's very good. A grilled corn on the cob. Let's see how this is done. So there's a little bit of a char there.
Yeah, I see that.
I would like to have more char, believe that or not, but let's see.
Well, I guess if we ever get it again, say extra grill.
It's tender.
Is it sweet or is it
It is sweet,
good?
and it has a nice flavor. There's just a little bit of the char though. I would like a little more char.
Okay.
I think that's really my only complaint with that. But now I'm gonna go back to the pork chop. I'm gonna try. It's a bone-in pork chop, so it should have extra flavor. It's grilled. It's a little over medium.
Okay.
But, so, I'm going to get a little bit of the relish. I'm going to get a little bit of the relish and then hit this.
This is interesting. I went to a retail store.
I was worried about the pork chop because it's just a little overdone for me. I like a little more mid-rare. But the apple relish, I kind of wish they would just brine that in like the apple cider vinegar, maybe even something in apple cider, and left off the relish. That's just a personal preference, really, because the onion kind of overpowers the apple in there.
Oh, okay.
And so,
I get that.
so it can't make up its mind whether it's savory or sweet.
Right.
And so it's confusing my palate too. It's confusing my taste buds. And I think that kind of takes away from the pork chop a little bit. So
Okay. Well, I will give it a try and see what I think and let you all know what the final thoughts.
yeah. Some final thoughts from the Applewood Farmhouse Grill.
All right. So, first of all, I've had confusion all of these years thinking this was the Farmhouse Restaurant. This is the grill. I've never been to the restaurant, apparently. So, learned something new today. Maybe one day we will go back and try the actual farmhouse. All right, so my thoughts. It's okay. It's not horrible. It's not bad food. It's definitely not my favorite, sadly. We have been asked so many numerous times to review Applewood Farmhouse. So we decided to do it today. Both of us, having never been here together, have always sort of had the same opinion of Applewood Farmhouse, is that it is definitely something that draws in tourism, not necessarily the best food. And unfortunately, I do still stand by that. The food was edible. It was good. The chicken was great. Enjoyed the mashed potatoes. The fritters are definitely my favorite fritters in the area for apple fritters. But that pot pie was just not good. Just wasn't good at all. This wasn't good. Chicken and dumplings were okay. I've had better other places. Everything is a little heavy on the salt. The chicken or the potato soup was, I couldn't finish it. It was like brine, frankly. All of that being said, I think the draw for Applewood Farmhouse is the shops, the bakery, the ice creamery. the feeling that you get in the beautiful property, because it is beautiful. It's a beautiful restaurant. The staff has been wonderful and very kind. But is it for the food? I'm going to say no. So that's my honest and real opinion. Take it or leave it.
I'm a little devastated at the moment. First of all, the best part about today, honestly, besides being with Christy,
Was the company.
was the company that we had with Carl and Kelly, who we met on a whim here. We did not, that was not planned at all. It just so happened that we were in the same place at the same time, and it worked out beautiful, and we just want to thank them again for their generosity to us and for
Being a friend.
being a friend of the channel. We really do appreciate that. There's already controversy around the history, which I'm really struggling with.
It's actually really disappointing to me because it feels, I would love to know where
that claim came from.
claim came from that it's the oldest restaurant, because it's definitely not the oldest restaurant.
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
There was no restaurant there.
There's a head scratcher on that. Food wise, the vegetable soup is actually very good. And the apple fritters, I actually like the orange zest and
Yeah,
the orange
they're
rind
good.
in the apple fritters, and the apple butter, of course, is very good here. Collard greens were good. The corn on the cob, the grilled corn on the cob, is a new thing, a new side here, and it's freezer corn on the cob. It's not, and it really wasn't grilled that much either. There was a little bit of char to it, but it could have been better. Kind of bland. Wasn't loving that. Pork chop was okay, but
I personally did not care for the pork
the
chop.
relish is rough. So it can't make up its mind if it's savory or whether it's sweet. And for me, it's confusing. Like, my palate was confused. My palate's like, I don't know if this is supposed to be sweet, if it's supposed to be savory. And that kind of took away from the flavor and the taste. So I wasn't a big fan of that. When you've got purple onion in with cooked apples.
Yeah, purple onions are very strong, and when you cook them down, they become even stronger. Maybe a sweet onion would be a better choice.
Yeah, so it was like I said, the worst part for me, really, honestly, was this apple julep, because it's not very apple at all. It's a mix of like 4 different juices, but the pineapple is so overpowering in that it's really hard to call that an apple julep. If I wanted apple cider, Carver's is where I would go for that in Cosby. I will say that Applewood has Carver's beat on the fritters, but Carver's has Applewood beat on the cider and the apple julep. So kind of a toss up there. I agree with Christy that the draw to this place, I've got one thing here that I have loved forever and ever. My mama, every Christmas, would come here and get an apple stack cake. And the apple stack cake is wonderful here, as well as their apple butter. But the shops and everything is what you come here for. You do not necessarily come for the food. There's better home cooking in other places, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's an honest review. It's
We don't
it's
like
tough to do.
doing negative reviews, but
No.
you've asked for it, and so here it is.
Right? That's kind of the reason we didn't want to do this. And we had an open mind coming in.
It's
don't
been
know.
about 8 years since I've been here, so
Yeah.
I definitely have had time to forget, but then I remembered pretty quickly.
Yeah. Maybe you've been at Applewood, maybe you've had a different opinion, or maybe you're looking to come here. So if so, let us know in the comments. For now, we want you to hit that like button. Of course, smash it if you like the video. I know it's a tough one today. And of course, subscribe to Smoky Mountain Faith Food and Fun. We're going to give you honest reviews. There wasn't much fork twirling today, and I'm a little disappointed. So, and I know Christy is too. But also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time we've got new content posted. We love you guys. God bless you. And, well, we can't wait to show you what's next. And hopefully it's not another negative review.
stay tuned. We are going to show you a little bit of the role of the rest of the apple barn complex so that you can see what that's all about.
Absolutely. God bless y'all. We'll see you next time.
Come along with me as we explore some of the shops and other areas of the Applewood complex. This is the Christmas store, which of course has all kinds of beautiful Christmas decor. They also sell children's toys as well as candles and other gifts. Come along inside the Apple Barn Winery. All of these wines are made right here on the premises. Making our way down the complex, you can see some of the grapevines here for the winery. And the next stop is going to be the ice creamery and your bake shop. The bake shop offers homemade sweetbreads. Today they had an apple bread and a peach bread available for sale. Right next door to the bake shop is your old-fashioned candy store. Lots of house-made yummy sweets that will satisfy any sweet craving that you might have. Continuing on, this is the Hard Cider House. Feel free to take advantage of some of the tastings that they offer here. Down at the end in the big barn, you're going to find the bakery where you can get all kinds of apple goodies like your fried pies, that apple stack cake Brooks mentioned, as well as apple cider donuts and pies. Continuing on into the barn, this is where you're going to find a lot of your Apple Valley products such as your baking mixes and all kinds of apple themed gifts. And basically, if it's apple, you might find it here. You get such a feeling to the old days in here, and I just love it. This is the apple cider filling room where they do make apple cider right here on the property, as well as your apple cellar where you can buy some fresh apples. Thank you so much for joining us on this tour of the Apple Valley Farm Complex. Here is your menu for the Applewood Farmhouse Grill. Feel free to pause or freeze your screen so you can look at it closer, and we hope to see you again next time.